Steve, let's talk Michigan. Purdue comes to town, and Michigan has a 7:30 p.m. kickoff. Plenty of time for these flip targets to be on campus. That's what we're talking about in this video. Michigan flip targets. Wisconsin linebacker Aiden Reer is the first one we're going to hit on. Reer is a player in a position of need for Michigan. How big of a priority is he, Steve?
Yeah, Reer committed to Wisconsin right now, Josh. He hails from Cincinnati, St. Xavier. He is a guy that Michigan is really pushing for late in the 2026 cycle. I spoke to Aiden this week. He said Michigan's a great school academically and athletically. And being a kid from Ohio, I grew up knowing all about the history and players that Michigan has developed. I'm looking forward to the visit. The Wolverines have had success at Powerhouse St. Xavier before. I think we see them make a big move this weekend with Aiden Reer. I also think Michigan, by the time toe meets leather for kickoff Saturday night, they're hosting another linebacker committed elsewhere. So we'll have more on that on the Recruit Reaction Show on Saturday, and then certainly on Monday's Wiltfong Whip Around next week.
Yeah, and as always with some of the late kickoffs, it always gives an opportunity to allow some surprise visitors, even though you might know who they already are right now. You're just not telling us, but it'll be a surprise to us on Saturday on that Recruit Reaction Show. So I want to talk a little bit more. We know we talk with E.J. Holland and you on here all the time about Michigan looking for more DBs. Obviously, Haven Finney, his name gets even more interesting. We've talked a lot about Haven Finney, who is from Los Angeles but committed to LSU. A lot on this channel in terms of Michigan trying to make a push, but now that Brian Kelly has been fired, it looks like he's involved. And then also news this week that they are entering the sweepstakes for Jay Timmons, a Florida State commitment. Flipping DB seems to be a priority for Michigan right now.
Yeah, corner's a position of need for them as they shore up a recruiting class that's tracking to be top 10 nationally for a second straight cycle. Finney is one that they never relented on, and Coach Sharon Moore has been leading the charge. He was not going to take any more visits, but once Brian Kelly was fired, his father told me that visits are likely. And he mentioned a few schools, Michigan, Tennessee, Texas. The only coach he mentioned, Sharon Moore. So he is making an impression from the Wolverines corner office. Michigan continues to be on the gas for Haven Finney. He's waiting to see kind of what happens at LSU. He's been in touch with Corey Raymond. The family has, but Michigan has remained in the picture with a pulse. Now they're hoping they can get that heartbeat racing by the time you put pen to paper for the early sign-up period.
All right. Now we know Jay Timmons is going to be at Ohio State. But where's Michigan in this recruitment? Is it just very early? Do they need to get him on campus? Have they had a relationship with him? FSU, their commitment looks vulnerable, even though Jay Timmons is a legacy prospect there. But where do they stand with Timmons?
Well, I know you had Wolverine insider E.J. Holland on the Inside Scoop on Wednesday, and he was the one with the news that Michigan is looking to make a late push for Jay Timmons. Easy to see why. He's one of the most talented players in the country, regardless of position, having a fantastic senior season for Pine Richland. He is an NFL legacy recruit. His father was an awesome player at Florida State, a first-round draft pick with a long career in the NFL. And Michigan has a lot of things that kids from those kind of households look for, but they're a new team to the party. Ohio State right now looks like the biggest challenger to Florida State for Jay Timmons. We'll see if Michigan can make a move down the stretch.
All right, Steve, let's finish this Michigan segment with a loaded group of 2027s that will be visiting Ann Arbor this weekend.
Yeah, some touted running backs, Josh, that they're excited about. Noah Roberts from Arizona, Nigel Newkirk from Georgia. Those are two guys that Michigan is in the mix for early in their processes that they would love to get into that position room and push the likes of Savion Hyder, Jonathan Brown, and others moving forward. They got several guys with an offer expected inside the big house. Offensive lineman Sidney Rolu, edge rusher Crew Jones, Rivals 300 receiver Trey Moore is excited to be in Ann Arbor. Brayton Feaster is an athlete target from the state of Ohio that Michigan is all over early in his process. And a very intriguing name, Rivals newly minted #1 player in the state, Miles Smith, an edge rusher, expected on campus this weekend. Michigan is not offered yet. Would not be surprising if they do soon. Indiana extended him a scholarship last weekend during his visit to the Hoosiers campus. Michigan trying to get prize receiver Dakota Garant back per E.J. Holland. Garant was at Oregon this past weekend. That was his third time in Eugene. Oregon is definitely a front runner. Michigan is as well. And I know Sharon Moore, Ron Bellamy and company would love to see Dakota Grant back inside the big house Saturday night against the Boilermakers.